High Quality Conversation, Episode 3. I'm your host, Avion Smith, where we get a little, high, and we also talk about things that would maybe make for a good quality conversation, but really what it is topics throughout the week that I found funny, whether it be political, things that happen to me, things that happen to other people. But we're going to start out with something that's pretty much on everyone's minds right now, and probably you saw in the beginning of my title, the fight. The fight within our political system. The political system that's been kind of systeming a lot recently, but really what I'm talking about is Elon Musk, that'll be our autism. And then we have our capitalism, and then we have Donald Trump, right? Now, these two entities working together was surprising, to say the least. It's almost like a Disney movie, right? It's almost like a Disney movie where the rich jock that has everything, and the nerd who has no friends in school, they team up, and in the end, they show you that anybody can work together, right? I'll tell you what, right now, we are not in a Disney movie, okay? There is no Zac Efron. There is no guy that makes souffle, the black guy who cooks. I'm pretty sure it's the black guy who's like, I actually just love cooking. I don't want to play basketball. There's none of that going on, okay? But what we do have is two big egos with a lot of power, for some reason looking for more, having a dick measuring contest, right? And this has funny implications on a lot of people because you're dealing with two individuals who really don't give a damn about the outcome. And then you have us looking at it like, yo, some of this probably has the outcome on us, but I get to you two want to make a point. It started with Elon disagreeing with a tax cut bill and saying it was going to be really hard for the U.S. economy and it's going to create all this debt, which there's validity to, right? Now, what I think also is the only reason why he's mentioning it is not only that maybe he found out recently that he actually doesn't like Trump all that much or something, but it's affecting him. But the funniest part about it is Elon Musk is one of the first people to speak openly and affect himself. He says crazy shit all the time and ruins and messes up his own money, right? Whether it be through the stocks, whether it be through his capital gain, whether it be through directly affecting people now that apparently he's allowed to be in cabinet meetings or something. I'm not really sure. That happened once or twice, right? But I found it funny that we thought that this was going to play out like some Disney movie. It never was. These two were never going to get along, and it reached a point so funny to me because with the Epstein stuff kind of resurfacing about, video footage being deleted and we lost all this stuff, and for some reason all these things weren't happening and all these things that we're just supposed to understand and accept, we are not accepting. And if I had to guess, it's probably just because there is a lot of people involved. And we're like, you know what, we probably shouldn't do this because that would be pretty bad. And we're just going to have the biggest let off in the history of let offs. But he's going to go down, right? But that stuff's been popping up again. And I don't doubt that Elon Musk is one of those people who is conniving in the sense that, like, he just says shit. That's his tism, right? That's his little shit going on. Of course, it has to do with space and all that stuff too, but he is truly at heart just a loser. So when I'm seeing that, like, what would a loser do in this situation? It's like, oh, well, I see this stuff resurfacing again, and people have known that Trump and all that stuff, even though, funny enough, Trump has been very adamant, and I think up to this point has proved that he has not been involved down or been to Epstein Island once, or even on the way there once. You're going to mention it. It's almost like rage baiting. We have our president and another dude with a whole lot of money, a whole lot of the richest person in America, rage baiting each other right now. What the we have the captain of the chess team, and I shouldn't even say chess. We have the captain of the robotics team and the captain of the water polo team, and they're having it off right now. But instead it's the president and Elon Musk. I don't know. Those are the kind of high school things that you would hope would, like, stay in high school, not necessarily affect our entire country. And people kind of have these questions. They're like, why all these other countries doing? Like, I don't understand. We're just doing what's best for us. I don't know what's best for us. I'm not giving you that answer right now because I don't have it, but I can tell you this right now. Elon Musk being allowed to be in cabinet meetings and then have some autistic rant on Twitter 5 seconds later, calling out our president, saying our president was in um, on Epstein Island. And some of you might go like, "Oh, well, Elon would know." No. You don't get it. He wouldn't know. He's just autistic and saying shit and just talking shit and literally rage baiting like he's on Discord. Those are the kind of people that we are now letting into office. Um, but one thing about it is too, it came out today that he didn't apologize. He didn't say sorry. He was just like, yo, yesterday got a little bit out of hand. Things got a little bit too far. That's all. That's it. That's it. So it's like you get into a disagreement with your friend and then all of a sudden you call him a pedophile. And then after you're just like, yo, sorry, that's kind of sorry. You know how things can get. Sometimes things get a little bit wild and you call your friend or coworker a pedophile. You know this. I do it all. I'm not lying. It's my favorite joke to do at work. Like one time I was closing and I noticed a person on the cleaning list left before cleaning the bathroom and their name was on it, right? And I was like, "Oh, that's so funny." And then someone went to the bathroom and saw me cleaning it. They're like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I was like, "Oh no, I'm just cleaning the bathroom because blah 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 didn't do it." They're such a pedophile for that. That's my favorite joke. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's Alon's too, right? That's his favorite joke. You get backed into a corner in an argument. You just don't really know what to say because you actually don't have no idea what you're saying or what policy is or how to actually help a country or help people or do anything like that. Because that's not really you. You just kind of autistically say numbers on Joe Rogan that actually don't add up. But I'm very impressed that you know the verbiage. I'm sure a lot of people would think I know how to run an offense if I just talk. I do not know how to run an NFL offense. Um, but yeah, I just never really understood it. But it's funny because he knew what he was doing. The It's a hot topic. It's gonna definitely affect him. But it's funny because he doesn't care that it affects himself. Like I said, I mean, Tesla took a hit after this. I mean, they gained back a little bit after, but I'm forgetting the verbiage of it, like capital. I'm very, trying to establish that kind of understanding, but something about their capital gain opportunity or something like that within the last 3 days was $150 million less than what they could have done, all because of one comment of calling someone a pedophile. He's the richest person on earth, so I'm sure he does not care. But for other people, I would say they care. People whose money is in there, people who work for the company, people whose opportunities, I don't know. For some reason, the reselling of a fucking Tesla goes up and down every week. It's 40,000 one week, 10,000 less, 30,000 less the next week. So I would take that same approach to Elon, right? At sometimes he looks like a $50 billion idea. This is great. And then a couple weeks later, his stock turns into he's calling the president a pedophile on Twitter. So, I mean, that's one of my favorite things that's been happening this whole week. The assumption that autism and capitalism could go hand in hand and work together like it was some happily ever after movie. These two, especially ego wise, aside from all the jokes that I'm saying, because they are, jokes. I mean, of course, I have a lot of respect for people on the spectrum. I just don't have a lot of people. I don't have a lot of respect for people on the spectrum like Elon Musk. That's it. That's all I'm saying. I mean, he's just a dumbass. He's quite literally just an autistic rich dude. Same as Facebook dude. Autistic rich dude coder. Other guy. Autistic rich dude space. You could really I actually don't really think Jeff Bezos is autistic at all, actually, funny enough. So he's not. I'm trying to think of another one. Oh, I mean, half the chess players in the world that are famous, autistic chess player. Like that's your lane. I'm not sure if we've had an autistic president, but because I don't think you get what I don't think it would work though, because they tried it a little with Elon going and all. They let us to cabinet meetings. This is what it turned into. right? So I think those kind of individuals who are super talented, like Bill Belichick, for example, autistic football, right? Mike McDaniels, autistic football. Now, would these two individuals, would you want to maybe ask them about uh like LGBTQ rights? Of course you wouldn't. Their entire lives are ingrained in football and that, you get me? That's their thing. That's their fidget spinner. It's sports, it's space, it's chess. It's not politics. That is one of the biggest mistakes that I think we made, having someone with the kind of ego, money, and mental capacity of him, and the lack of emotional capacity, emotional intelligence out of him to understand that what he's saying is insane about our president. And that's something you don't do when you're involved within politics and actually affecting the market and the economy um, at all, especially when you're in the position he's in that spite, right? Like imagine, imagine this. Imagine this. Imagine you're getting into an argument with your friend, right? And his girlfriend, for some reason, like he's suspicious of you, but he has not cheated on her, right? He has never cheated on her, never will, never did, never will, whatever. But she's for some reason suspicious that he's cheating, and you guys get in a disagreement, in an argument, and then in the middle of it, I go, well, that's why you actually were cheating on her. There, now there's that. You have been cheating on her, and the whole thing blows up. But the thing is, though, you can't do that in this situation because up to this point, I mean, it's actually been a talking point for Trump against people. The fact that where were you? You're probably on the list because people know I'm not. That was one of the biggest deflections, and also the biggest things going on in terms of the first election. We were confused. All these people, we didn't trust anybody, and all of a sudden, there's all these people on these lists who were in the government, who are highly connected, and then all of a sudden, you had this one random fucking rich fuck in the room who was like, you know what's funny? I never fuck kids on those island on that island. Maybe I did. Maybe I have, but not on the island. So I'll give him that, bro. Real shit, real shit. So Alon, you're you're done, bro. We don't need what was his name? Brian billionaire, fucking whatever Ackman to come talk you down. You needed another. I guess it takes one to know one, but shout out him. Shout out, shout out our government. Having a total like just cliche of a situation going on in big ego nerdy guy versus big ego capitalist guy. It's just so stupid. It writes itself really at this point. Um, but yeah, and I'll say this too. If Elon Musk wasn't so connected, this would have been the best joke of the year so far. This would have been like blah 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 policy policy policy. Things get quiet. He says something back. You go, "Yeah, fuck it, you're a pedophile." That's some shit I'd do. That's some that I'd bring up some stupid shit like that. Not on some cheating shit, but if I was really not fucking with someone, and someone was like, "Oh, blah blah blah," and I knew a little bit about them, or even if they were unfaithful, like let's say they were unfaithful in their marriage or something, I'd bring it up. But I'm not the president. I'm a civilian. I can be like, "Hey, you are," you know. I'm not just saying that. Come on now. So I think it's funny. Our politics are becoming entertainment news, right? And I wonder why. We let entertainment within our politics. And that's not good. It's not good that we're resembling a television show. Like tonight, shit, I'm gonna pour some wine, I'm gonna smoke a J, and I'm gonna watch Love Island. How in the world am I more, if not the same amount entertained reading news as I am watching the show? That makes no sense and should not happen. And I should literally be falling asleep to political commentary. You know, I shouldn't be able to sit there and it's like 30 minutes in, I should have been asleep already. And this motherfucker is just like, oh, yeah. And in other news, Elon Musk has just called, yes, Elon Musk has called President Trump a pedophile and goes to his island a lot. And then me in bed at like 12:45 in the morning, I'm just like, that's funny. Like that should never shit should not be funny. Okay? Um that's my job. That's my job to make it funny. But we're gonna move on to another topic now. 15 minutes of this was good. I actually really am happy because I restarted this a couple times because I definitely wanted to make sure I got off my true thoughts on it because I'm still very new to expressing those. But we got notes or whatever the fuck. But the next topic, just because it hits kind of home for me. I don't know if a lot of you guys know, but I did grow up in a Marine Corps family. Ooh, raw? Huh? Marine? Ooh, raw? Semper Fidelis type shit. But I'm actually very proud of that. Now, there's a lot of things going on in California. That's where I'm from. I'm based in New York now, comedian. But the thing is, there's a lot of things happening in San Diego right now or San Diego and LA that are things that I actually could ignore for a long time. Or things that didn't happen in San Diego specifically. And I've voiced a couple of times how much San Diego can come off like a town like no one really cares. Like I'll put this, they'll be like, oh, as long as it doesn't affect me, you do whatever you want to do, you know? But the thing is, it actually never really affects you to begin with, and it still isn't. But now all of a sudden, you have an opinion. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those places. For a border town, we don't really have a lot of border issues. We're a great example of a town that's right next to Mexico. Those murderers, those killers, those rapists, I'm sorry. I mean, you could look up the internet, but they're just not there for us. We have a very great relationship with the border, and it kind of defines us. We are the border boys. That's what people call themselves. That even there's this famous or a popular basketball team not too long ago. They had these jerseys called the Border Boys. It was awesome. It really, really sucks to have that connection to Southern California, a connection to the Marine Corps, and then knowing that Marines are being deployed in both places. And this just got done after the Chargers just came down. Like, there's so many things going on, and I'm not trying to mention like sports where they were bring up the Chargers, but it's like partially it's like I'm reminded of the great parts of San Diego. Like, oh yeah, it's cool that the Chargers are coming down. That's so fun, but it's in the midst of some of the craziest things going on. And I'm not saying everyone, football teams that get political. I probably shouldn't have even brought them up, but it's interesting to me that Marines were deployed during protests when ICE raids are happening left and right. They're quite literally leaving thousands of dollars of equipment into some of these places that are working, leaving them dead broke, dead empty. The stove is still on. People are getting thrown into fucking vans. You get what I'm saying? We have families being torn apart, and I understand what someone might say to that. Well, be here legally. I'm not going to give you the spiel that some of the people that you would call libtards, that you would call progressive idiots. I'm not going to give you that same spiel. I'm not going to give you the spiel that, well, this is stolen land. Everything is. Shut up. I actually funny enough, find you guys pretty funny. I agree that, well, we won. Because if we didn't, someone else would have. This was going to happen. So calm down. And if you argue anything else, I don't give a fuck if you're an historian. If you think anything else than what happened to the natives here was going to happen to anybody else, you're stupid. Motherfuckers were pulling up with guns and killing people, or getting them syphilis, killing people, getting them sick, killing their whole nation. The whole Mayan community got killed from a cold, bro. Don't tell me another motherfucker isn't pulling up and capping shit. Shut up. But next, I'm not going to give you the argument that these legally, well, didn't we come here illegally? No, I believe I was talking about immigration. Sorry, I had to go eat dinner. you if you want to go after the people that you're saying, right, murderers, right, whatever group you're saying, I can 100% promise you the funniest thing about all this is if 90% of people did exactly what they said they were going to do, there's a reason why they were elected. I get that. So if you're going to get those individuals out, sure, right, sure, but you're not going to pull up to places that are staples in communities in Mexican communities, and then grab people who don't have papers on them right then and there, can't prove that they're from here, and then make them prove it in a undisclosed location. You know, sending people out of the country, and you have made mistakes. There are people that are sent out of the country, multiple people, by accident. Um, and whether or not even more like looking at it, no one can tell me watching a video of people getting torn apart from families who have been working here. Um, Money's flowing in our country through them. They're a part of our community. Um, and see those videos and agree like, yeah, I mean, first thought of your head is, hmm, well, shouldn't have been here illegally then. I'm sorry, you lost me there, buddy. You know, you're just a prick. Um, but yeah, that was just a really weird situation for me to see that the Marine Corps was deployed, because the thing is too, I mean, people have their thoughts on America's America's power, right? We are a militaristic power, and that's how we have gained a lot of um respect throughout I mean, the world. I mean, that's how we are a militaristic country, but we are still a representation of whatever our legislation is, and we do what they do. So that's why also it's kind of sucky when people go, oh, now we're associating the military with this, when in all reality, they were told to go do something. And I've seen them get told to do a lot of great things too. Um, like I remember when the tsunami or the nuclear thing happened, the tsunami happened when my family was stationed in Okinawa at the time. My dad, he f- uh, is in aviation, right? Marine Corps aviation. He was sent over there on humanitarian work for months at a time. That was something where me and my family, me and my mom gave him a huge hug, said, "Yo, this is tight as fuck. This is way better than a lot of the stuff that people would have you think they do on a daily basis. The things that my dad has been deployed in some in active wars, right? Has seen things, has done things. But this is beautiful. This is something where people can look at and be like, okay, well, I understand we come from a militaristic background, but that doesn't mean that it needs to be predatory. It doesn't need to mean it needs to be aggressive. In the same sense, like a gentle giant, right? He's big. Do not fuck up what's going on, because they'll get active. But that person can't be an individual who gets into arguments. Our entity can't be the kind of person. And he didn't get rage baited, sure. But it's like the fact that even Elon Musk can just say shit on Twitter, and these arguments are even happening and is a part of our stuff. Like, that's the same part of it with the like, it's really hard to have these kind of individuals with so much power. Um, yeah, but into other news, 25 minutes in, I saw something that really it just made me chuckle. Hawk Tua girl is back. Now, I don't know if it's a pod, but took a break from the pod since the whole coin situation thing happened. Been real quiet on social media, but I've been noticing some reels. I've been seeing her. She's trying to easing people into it. Still has a huge fan base, I'm sure, somehow. Don't really know how that all worked, but the fact that she's on my feed, I'm probably feeding into it too. But her bio says influence for good. Influence for good, it says. She just scammed her fans out of $1 million, and then her bio now changed to influence is good. These people love you. These people, they appreciate you. My fans, thank you so much I will be nothing without you. Now let me scam the shit out of you. That is a true proponent of love. If you love someone if you love me, if you look up to me, if you listen to my podcast and you really want to support me, you need to invest in my coin so I can rug pull. Okay? You don't even subscribe to the Patreon. If you would have been subscribing and really supporting me over the past few years, that's how much money you'd be investing in anyway. So I'm only taking what, $100 from you? It's not that much. It's not that much money. I'm an influencer for good. That's what I am. No. Anybody who says they're different from other influencers, um, that's a good track as to them being actually the exact thing you think they're not, and they will scam the shit out of you. Okay? Let that be known. The only ones that I trust, the only influencer that I know of is an honest one, and it's really hard to come by, you know? Or one who is just really transparent with the whole situation. It's like, yo, I make video now. If you're doing crazy shit, all this stuff, spending a lot of money, I think that's its own thing too. But influencer for good. Interesting. Interesting. I don't know. I've never ran. Now, let me tell you what would be good, right? If the Hawk Tuah girl went on her pod with a bottle of wine and her little Pookie there, right? I actually need to be very honest right now. The fact that I even said that right now and I know what that is, it's my own fault. I do know I don't listen to it, but I be seeing funny clips and shit of like talk to and shit or like whatever the fuck. It's insane. But I think what would be an influence for good is if she went on there with a bottle of wine, her best friend there who was in the video, who didn't really say anything, who's really just up there. She kind of looks like Addison Rae, um, and Pookie, right? And she just starts pouring wine. She's just like, yeah, I feel like I need to tell you guys and really be a good influence on y'all and really just start on a good foot and be honest, right? Glug, glug, glug. The whole coin thing, I was always going to scam you. And all her fans would go, what the fuck? This is crazy. And I would go, you just gained the biggest fan ever. Ever, ever. If she went on there and said, yeah, I was always going to rug pull. I'm a fucking joke. I'm here because of a video where I said I spit on a dick and suck it. But real shit, I'm here. Y'all listened and y'all got rug pulled. So tune the fuck in. And then everyone's like, what the fuck? And then her friend's like, oh my gosh. And then she's like, this bitch don't even suck dick. That's crazy. We got to Hawk to a podcast. This girl don't even suck dick. That's an influencer for good. That would be that. Her boyfriend's like, yo, like yo, chill, Pookie, no. And she's like, no, you don't even satisfy me in the bedroom. She just starts going crazy on the podcast. She's like, matter of fact, I mean, y'all could tell, like, I'm pretty sexual, blah, blah. He don't even let me put a finger. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? Like, that would be the kind of situation that would be an influence for good, in my opinion. It's honest, it's real, and it's the truth. You are an influencer for good that loves her fans, and I rug pulled you because that's what love is. That's real as fuck. That is the realest shit I've ever heard in my life. And I'll tell you this right now. Like I said before, any single person who's like, oh yeah, I I'm different from other people because I actually give back to the community. They don't really. They put up some weird shit and they're like, be a part, blah blah blah. They don't. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. Me personally, you've heard my thoughts on coins, right? I'm never gonna drop a coin. I don't even keep change. Motherfucker, keep the change. I don't need it. I don't need the coins. Okay. Now let me tell you what I do need. Okay. I'm going to be very clear about this. The price will be different. and I will value each and every one of you. Value enough to set this precedent right here. The Patreon will only be at $5 forever. One tier. That's it. There, you can do whatever you want. But I'm not going to sit here and start some master class, right? Or even some like meet and greet internet thing. Pay $100 and you can get 5-minute conversation. I'm not going to be scamming the shit out of you. And let me tell you this right now. I wanted to get that out of the way. And if I ever did, I would tell you directly to your face and you would still do it. Okay? You would talk my Tua. Okay? I would tell you directly to your face, I'm fucking scamming you. What you're investing in is not an investment, and you actually cannot get a refund on that ticket that I canceled that show at. Okay? I just scammed the shit out of you, and I'm telling you. But I would be honest with you, and I think that would be the most real. And how funny would that be if someone was honest about it and still rug pull? Like they're like, yo, I really did this. Yeah, like I'm gonna do this. Like right when you guys invest, I'm gonna pull it. I'm gonna hoe everyone. They're gonna be like, what the fuck? But I told you I was gonna do it. So whatever. I'm living life on the edge, you know? I am living life on the edge. But speaking of life though, to be honest, let's get down to brass tacks. Let's talk about stuff that you really want to hear about. Let's talk about my life, right? Because everyone gives a fuck about that. But there is a new development. I don't know if you guys have been seeing me a little bit when I spin a little. The goal was to when I look directly at you, you don't really see anything. But I did get a tattoo. 619. San Diego, California, baby. Before they changed the area code, all that bullshit. Now there's no 619 numbers, but I have one. And I just gave you 3 numbers. Please do not find out the rest. And that's also why I had a kind of a feeling about the Marine Corps, San Diego, the whole things that are happening with ICE. It's kind of affected me a lot recently. Maybe that had some background thing as to me getting this tattoo, but it's something I've wanted a while. I've always wanted a tattoo there, and I didn't really know what I wanted. I'm creeping on a year in New York now. It's been amazing, to be honest. This is the most myself I've really ever felt. And maybe it's just a solidifier that moving here, if you do want to make a change, you really can make the change, but it's going to be uncomfortable. And I'm starting to even get to a point right now where I'm starting to feel comfortable. So I think I need to shake something up. Probably start going to mics a lot more and taking myself more seriously with like stand-up comedy. But I mean, in terms of New York, I mean, it's amazing. The shit that happens over here is truly nuts. Like imagine you're at home in a small town or even San Diego. I mean, not the smallest town, but it's really to the corner. Not much really goes on over there. I'm on my phone all the time. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I'm going to do this one day. And you keep pushing thoughts forward, but in the future, right? It's pretty easy to just stop doing all that shit when you're here because every single day you end up meeting someone who will surprise you. What surprises me the most is even sometimes when I'm out, when I'm about, I'll meet someone and have a great night with them. And then at the end of the night, maybe we'll exchange information and I'll just be like, what the fuck? And like in San Diego, the most you ever see is maybe like a chick with like 35, maybe 100,000 followers if you end up bagging. And then you're like, oh, it's pretty cool. But we get what that is though, right? But here it's interesting. You meet singers, you meet designers, you meet people in politics, you meet people who are in cannabis. I'm in cannabis. I meet people who do things that honestly, it's pretty hilarious that anybody thinks they can't do exactly what they want to do to an extent. Like if you did want to make cannabis your career, you could. I didn't have the understanding of that going into college. I mean, I would have probably just went to Humboldt State and took like a whole course on cannabis and growing and just really getting myself involved in cannabis early. But you can do it if you like cannabis. And I've seen people in their 30s, 35, 40s change careers. Nurses midlife just change their careers from nursing to cannabis. But you see things like that every single day here. So it's a lot easier to live presently and not be dead scrolling and not looking at your phone and talking about a lot of what ifs. But to make that uncomfortable jump, you definitely should. That's like the biggest revelation I've ever had. It's the biggest probably consistency as to why I've been back on the pod doing comedy, gaining support within cannabis in terms of like my career. All that was just off of being putting myself in uncomfortable situations. And yeah, you could say it really did stem from the fact that I did grow up in Japan. I'm like, yo, bro, is hasn't your whole life kind of been a one big uncomfortable situation? Sure, but that's what makes the choice of it so interesting, you know? For the same reasons why people who are comfortable for their whole lives, it would be hard for them to make that jump to doing something uncomfortable. And a lot of the time when they do, people think it's inauthentic. They're like, oh, or you're like, oh, you only got this job because of you knew this person, or you're the son like Dan, even though I kind of think it's dumb that anybody would say nepotism plays a role in this. Danny Ainge, the owner of, or the excuse me, the president of the Celtics for a long time player as well. His son was in the organization. Now just took over the Jazz, the same organization that he was a part of. So people were quick to bring up nepotism in that. But you worked your butt off, bro. You worked your tail off. So who really gives a fuck? Um, but no, you're only going to be able to do that when you live super uncomfortably. But growing up in Japan, I was uncomfortable basically the whole time, and I had to really, really, really realize the difference between being forced to. So people think you're I am outgoing to an extent. I am extroverted for sure, but I don't think I am as much as a lot of people do. And actually taking the risks for myself is the hardest thing. Being uncomfortable for me is hard because I felt like I was forced to be uncomfortable my whole life in a lot of different regards. Whether you're talking like, bro, first of all, I was the only American at my school. There was only this one other half American kid who spoke English, but he never talked to me and he spoke Japanese. He was half Japanese. So it's like, bro, of course you're locked in. I get you, bro. Fuck you. But we weren't even the same grade, by the way. He had no reason to talk to me. We would never see each other. Um, whether it be in a family dynamic, that was kind of uncomfortable, but I had to live with it. Um, coming back home, having to kind of understand America again. Also in a very funny light, being in a super huge Mexican, just in general Hispanic, South American community in the Coachella Valley. I mean, a quarter wasn't enough for them. I mean, I date a Mexican girl in middle school, and they would be like, "Why are you dating this fucking dude? Huh? Why are you dating this dude? He doesn't even wear a fucking rosary and shit." I did because she gave it to me for a little while. That was or she gave me one, and that was very sweet of her. So thank you to you. Okay, I appreciated that a lot. I felt like a fool and shit. I mean, I have no beliefs. I've never have. Um, but that was just super funny because that was super uncomfortable. Like I'm not trying to be like, I'm not enough here and I'm not enough there. Cause in fact, I am very comfortable everywhere, but maybe that is just me, because I was forced to be. Um, but making the jump myself was the hardest thing. And it's been the greatest choice ever. Like ever. Like truly. And I can't imagine even me just festering if I was still in San Diego for the last year, just trying to think about it, keep pushing. Oh, I need more money. Oh, I need this. Oh, I need that. You don't need anything but you, homie. Okay. You don't need to talk to a coin. They're going to fuck you over. The only person that it will truly, 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 truly never fuck you over is no one. You are going to fuck yourself over too. Okay? That's actually a bar. Wait, that's actually a bar. I'm not going to lie. I never really did fuck with that statement. Only look out for you because you're the only person who you are by yourself the night. But I'll say this people fuck over themselves every single day of their lives. I see it all the time. People do it in regards all the time. I mean, people do it in their career, people do it in their family, people fuck themselves over all the time and know they are. They could play dumb, maybe subconsciously are, but really, you're fucking yourself over too. Okay? So live with it and take the risk. Living uncomfortably at the end of the day, especially if it's moving towards something that you want to do, it's the only option. It's the only option. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What other life updates have I done? Um Dude, to be honest with you, I'm gonna be real. New York summer is about to be crazy. I'm about to be real active, but I don't know what's up in the air recently. I'm gonna be real with you. People are wildin'. Like I'm seeing motherfuckers dub people. I'm seeing motherfuckers fuck people. I'm seeing motherfuckers fuck over people. I'm seeing motherfuckers just fuck themselves over and people. I don't know what's up with this summer, but I'm loving it. It's like there's something in the air. I saw someone mention that, like, yo, this is going to be the first summer that's like better than 2016. And I tell you, those funny people who are obsessed with 2016. That's my age group. I'm sure each people have their, oh, 2011 was so whatever age group. But no, I'm going to tell you this right now. Um, this summer's going to be fucking nuts. I mean, I have never seen an amount of individuals wilding as much as I do, and people are simply bold. Like I have never in my life felt like anything could happen, really. I'm not saying I'm gonna like like suck a dick or anything, but what I am saying is don't be surprised if some fuck shit happens, you know? And I'm not saying like anything crazy, but it just almost seems like there's something in the air right now that's really fueling a lot of um just a lot of mischief. I don't really know. If there's seasonal depression, I'm sure there's um because bipolar they have extreme lows and extreme highs. This feels like a lot of people are coming up on an extreme high, and I'm not really sure what it is. I mean, I was outside and something just kind of hit me when I'm like overhearing stuff. I'm hearing people, they're like, "Psst, yeah, and then we just did all this stuff, and then all of a sudden, yeah, we were just doing drugs all night. You know, it's summer now, and this fit. I'm hearing that from so many people. Long nights out, 5, 6 in the morning nights out, just balling, still going to work the next day and repeating. Um, that's another thing. Oh, yo, I have never in my life, fuck whatever I was talking about. Yo, I have never in my life um overheard people and laughed and had it more entertaining, not even laugh, but like just entertaining and laughing as much as I lived here. It is quite literally like people move here and start talking like they're in Gossip Girl or some shit. And they're probably and it's not even like they're acting, it's really what it is. I'm walking, I'm smoking, chilling on my break and shit, just standing there. Homegirl walks by. Yeah, and he went to Princeton, but the thing is, blah 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 went to Yale, and he was a part of all this stuff. So I don't really know why he was trying to flex all that weird shit on him, like blah blah. It's not like, and I'm just sitting here like, blah blah. Next girl walks by, talking about something finance, bro. Works for blah blah blah, makes this much, goes to this restaurant, fucks her over, and then blah blah blah. I don't even know. For a long time, I used to think a lot of these cliches because I've been running from cliches. Well, I've not wanted those things to be around me, attached to me. But all of a sudden, I realize, and I for a long time used to think that those kind of things just weren't even as real as people thought. I'm not saying it's a movie, isn't it's popping? Well, that too, but it's literally like sitting down and like listening to a movie. You know, it's like listening to an episode of Sex in the City if you're on the Upper East Side, and then just standing there for a smoke and just sit there and listen for a little while. It's pretty weird, pretty crazy. And and honestly, that goes into what I was talking about earlier, kind of in terms of motivations. I mean, you'll have people walk by you and talk about some crazy shit, and or even a friend of yours that's doing something crazy, or a friend of a friend, or an acquaintance, what they're working on. Like my a couple of my friends, they work in fashion. Right, they're amazing. If you're listening, you probably know. Shout out you, shout out those Willy boys, shout out y'all. But there, oh my gosh, like some of the most creative and motivating people and without even doing anything, you know? It's just being around them can really motivate you in the same sense that someone walking by you and you hear something funny like, yeah, and I don't even fucking really fuck with him, but he has money and he goes to Miami all the time and this shit's real. It's realer than you'll ever know. I went to a Playboy Cardi concert um with my homegirl Yvonne. Shout out Vaughn. Um shout out Elena. Uh, But we were having a good ass time, and this one dude creeped up on her. He was cool. He's like, "Oh, yo, like, mind if I hit your nick? Yo, mind if I hit your nick real quick?" And then he's, "I'll trade you. I got this little pen. We work in cannabis, so it's like we're literally have every kind of. I have a lot of things in my bag right now, and she does too. So that was just funny. But he was just trying to flirt, blah blah blah. So they were flirting, and then he's like, "Yeah, um, oh my God, this motherfucker said." She was like, "Oh, like, where do you work?" Blah blah. He's like, "Do you live in New York?" He was like, "Oh no, I'm just kind of bouncing back and forth from here in New York." He's like, "Yeah, I got an apartment in Miami, type shit." And then she's like, "Oh, like, where do you work?" He's like, "Oh, I work at Trader Joe's, but I be trade, he's like, I do day trading though." Motherfucker, get the fuck out my face. You better get the fuck out my face right now. And I'm not saying me. I'm just like, when I heard that, I had to literally almost contain laughter. I was like, "Oh, so he's classic. I work at Trader Joe's, day job. Yo, girl, I live in Miami." He knew he's so young. He was like, what, 22? He's so young. He's so young in the game. He don't even know how to lie yet. Motherfucker, you do not work at Trader Joe's in front of the hoes. You do not work in fucking Trader Joe's in front of no hoes. Okay? You are a day trader who has an apartment in Miami and you grew up in New York and you pull up here from time to time to say what up to people, but really I day trade type shit. And really, you know what you really should say if you're a good liar? You should say it's not that it was like hard, but it's like I got really lucky, really early. And now I can really do a lot of safe things to just be fine and consistent. And I'm still doing other things. Like, you could literally make up the biggest lie, fake humble. Like, this is what motherfuckers don't understand who are bad at lying. Like, I'm not saying lying is a good thing, it's a good trait, but let me tell you this, I could lie to your fucking face. I'm telling that's why I like being honest. Like, if I ever did drop a coin, I would tell you to your fucking face that I'm scamming the shit out of you. That is what's happening right now. I'm scamming the shit out of you. But I would lie like, you guys haven't act it's funny because there's all these memes on the internet and people on the internet are always like, "Oh yeah, like, bro, I love going out and me and the bro are just different people and you can just." Y'all don't actually do that. You just like it and then be like, "Bro, we should totally do this." You actually go to the club and don't talk to no people at all. Okay? Do you know what I do? I go out and I tell people that I'm a stand-up comedian from San Diego, California, with a Netflix special coming soon. Why do you only have 1,000 followers? Shorty, I only give numbers, no Instagrams type shit. Don't look up my name. Don't look up my name. See, I'm not even a good liar. But here's the thing. I'm not lying. That was stupid of me. If I was him, you just heard me. Give me a character. Oh yeah, I'm shit. I got an apartment in Miami. I'm a day trader. I just did it. I just did it. So why am I even trying to prove it? I just did it right now. I just went crazy lying. And bro fumbles like okay. And then he did come back with this though. He goes, his little vape. He goes, "Yeah, I got a section in there. We're gonna go see Playboy Cardi." She's like, "Oh yeah, I got a section." Okay, small recovery. He's like, "Yeah, I could get you in type shit, blah blah." And he's like, "I'm fucking with you." And his homies were like, "Yeah, he's fucking with you, blah blah." We get into the section. Not only can he not get anybody in, including her, she gets herself in, and then on top of that too, they get kicked the fuck out. Like, we're talking about security grabbed him and his homies by the chest and threw them the fuck out. Headlocks and shit. They were just being stupid as fuck. They just bought their first section type shit. They ain't never bought a section, you know? You gotta know section etiquette. You can wild out, but you can't be you can't be white boy wasted, wilding out on your first time out because you don't know what the rules are yet. And it was a Cardi thing, so it was crazy and everyone was on edge. Y'all motherfuckers were wild and getting put. I was seeing WWE moves getting put on them. Bro, you work at Trader Joe's. You know how this night started? With you lying. Bad liar. So first of all, one, don't lie. Because you could get table slammed through this for your section that you just bought with you and 15 of your friends that were still kind of pissed off that they even had to pay $75 and half of them at the end of the night were like, "I don't want to do that again." I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro. These cliches are real and they are in real life. And I pray to whoever I should pray to that I never become one of them. Okay? This doesn't help. I understand that, but let me tell you the background behind it. 619, San Diego, Rey Mysterio 619. But 619 is kind of what San Diego County is. And when the change of area code happened, I'm sorry, I did feel a certain way. 619 is what I grew up with, 619er. Sports were involved, Chargers, Padres, shoot. It's on t-shirts, it's on license plates, it's on all this shit. Tattoos everywhere. Um I I understand that's my reasoning, and I'm sure other people have reasonings too. But let me tell you this. At least I didn't get like a skeleton dancing here. Like, you know? You get what do you get what I'm saying now? At least I didn't get relentless on my neck. Okay? Relentless throat. He got that relentless throat. He a relentless throat fuck boy. You know what I'm saying? So maybe I could have chose a better option. Um, but I've been fiending for a tattoo here, and 619 just kind of really felt fitting with everything going on. Um, but no, dude, that motherfucker at the Cardi concert, I smelled that from a mile away. I'm like, bro, first of all, act like you've been here. But this is the issue though. If it's your first time being somewhere, you don't even know what act like being here is. So how can you act like you've been here if you've never been here? So you need to actually right now act like you've never been here and be respectful. Because when you don't be respectful, you get choke slammed out the section by a Nigerian 6'4" bodyguard, okay, who's hustling people to get into the VIP section 40 a pop and made an extra $400, I bet, off fuck shit, right? He had people stuffing money in his butt pocket and shit. He was like, hey, yo, make it look discreet. I can't be. Bro, we all know the game. We all know the game. I'm going to be honest. If I was Bros manager, I'd be like, hey, I didn't see shit, real shit. And I never will see shit unless my boss asked me if I seen shit and he showed me a video of me seeing shit. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I seen fine shit. But do not go into a section and act like that. Don't be that guy. And I'll be honest too. I thought about not bringing this up for the off chance that fine shit maybe listens, but I'm going to be honest with you. I'm out there and I'm just getting appalled. I'm sitting here like, nah, fuck that. I'm not saying shit. I'm not saying shit. Fuck y'all. Um, if some if me and fine shit link, then I'll mention it again. But as of right now, this is just an ongoing development. And by ongoing development, I mean there is no development and she is just I'm just yeah. I don't really know how to describe it, but it's interesting. I'll put it like this. I think it's really interesting and for me, it's not even every blue moon, to be frank with you. And this is actually a good closing argument too. Or not even closing argument, but a closer to this pod. Um Moving here, you meet a lot of people who, of course, there's traditional relationships. There's, people seeing each other. There's people dating. There's a lot of things happening. New York is a fucking horny ass town. Um, and I love it. I do love it. Um, I have my fun. I meet people. I want to have a lot more fun. But me personally, I think it's pretty hard for me to say that I probably could count less than 5 people in my life that I've met and I was like, the fuck? The fuck? No, 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 no. Keep talking. The fuck? Keep talking, girl. Keep talking, shorty. What'd you say? Expand on that type shit. And I'm not saying that I'm just saying like that's kind of how life is. Like when you meet someone who you're not only attracted to, but you enjoy that's one of those things where you think about more. But there's people like that here everywhere. It is so fucking annoying and crazy. And it's like, bro, I'm not some Mormon hornball. I'm not trying to have like a whole harem because that's haram. Feel me? That's not halal. I'm not Muslim, inshallah. But let me tell you this. When I'm walking around here, fine shit. Oh, and all of a sudden, I need to actually stop saying, just fine ass women, bro. Just fine ass women. And all of a sudden, they'd be like, yeah, I'm in, yeah, I work for blah, 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 blah. I work for names I can't even pronounce and blah, blah, blah. The fuck? Best you can do me for in San Diego is cute girl that's a vet. Best you can do. That is your best option in San Diego. A cute girl who's sweet and funny and a veterinarian. If that is not what you have, then buddy, good luck. It's gonna be fine. But I'm saying there is not really, those are the only ones for some reason that I've always found to be very interesting. People who deal with animals in San Diego. Like for some reason, they're the ones that are very expansive mentally. I don't really know where that comes from. We have a great zoo. That's what it is. We have the number 2 zoo, but we're not New York in terms of, New York's New York. But that's why the zoo people, that's why animal people in San Diego, they're cool. They could talk with New York people because you know what I mean? They're interesting. They're interesting type shit because zoo to zoo, if you have a good zoo, you could have good people. You could have good conversation. I like the zoo on dates too. The zoo, in my opinion, is the best date spot. First of all, animals, hilarious. Oh my God, they're in cages. Oh my God, animal cruelty. Let's move past that right now. And let me tell you the story about when I see monkeys throw shit in Asia at motherfuckers and smack people in the face with it like they were Aaron Rodgers. Okay? That is some shit. I saw Drew Brees chimpanzees throwing shit at people. You're telling me that shit's not funny. Then they look at each other and go, ha ha ha. You kidding me? You're telling me that's not funny? Okay, I've seen geese and goose and geese and geese chase little girls around, and I'm just cracking up. I'm like, this shit's hilarious. They run up to me, you just fucking smack them in the face. It's so funny. Not animal cruelty. I was like 8, but I was a big dog. I was like, fuck out of my face, long neck. But there is something to the fact that when you meet someone you're really, really wanting to talk to more, it's a lot better than someone you just want to sleep with. And that doesn't mean you have to date them. Okay, that's another thing I'm learning out here. I mean, no, well, you didn't date, but I'm saying like be seclusive with them. I mean, yeah, but unfortunately, there is someone I do want to get to know very much, though. And that's a good feeling. That might probably not develop into anything because New York is a big city and I'm just a guy that sells weed, smokes weed. And 20 minutes of this, I probably liked 40 of it, but a good 20 minutes of this was just straight horse shit. So we'll see how much I cut it up. But thank you guys so much for listening. I'm gonna get a lot better at having topics available, but I really just wanted to get an episode out so I could say I did. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Avion Smith. Check out the Players Club podcast. Check out High Quality Conversation. Like, subscribe. Before the stock is up. Love y'all. Have a great day or night. And remember to only believe in yourself, but know that you're going to screw yourself over too. You just got to get back up and screw everyone else more. Okay? Bye.